how are those neurons actually networked together?
What a neuron looks like. It's got a sort of lump at one end, a long, thin extension, let's just call it that. And then it branches out into a number of others. And the health of the neuron is actually looked about how long these extensions are and how many branches there are. Each of those branches connects to another neuron, almost. There's actually a little gap between the end of one and the beginning of the other. That's called the synapse in between. And so in a healthy brain, those neurons, let's go with 86 billion of them, 86 billion neurons are connected to anywhere between 10,000 others and 50,000 others. So now if you multiply those numbers together, 86 billion neurons, each connected by 30, 40, 50,000 others, you've got trillions of connections.
It's absolutely fascinating to think about how the brain is so interconnected, and that there's trillions, as you were describing it, connections between all the neurons, and when we make decisions and just the implications. And I can see in my mind's eye how all of those things are connected and how the different things are moving around. I'm sure others are too. The internet metaphor is definitely important, and I think helps to bring it into scope, because there's trillions of connections and signals are passing through all of those different areas. And it also, from a personal perspective, it may be to some degree, there's a parallel between why relationships matter so much, because we're wired for connection. So relationships, whether you want to call yourself an extrovert, introvert, whatever, there is a degree of, we all want to fellowship or be around other people in some capacity. And so that connection, I think there is an interesting link between that and then how the brain is actually wired with these trillions of connections.
In an infant's brain, as many as 2 million new connections are formed every second. That's almost mind-boggling to get your mind around. By age 2, a child has over 100 trillion connections, double the number an adult has. And so kids, when they're fumbling around or they're putting things in their mouth or they're feeling or whatever, they are making connections at some phenomenal rate. And they end up with over 100 trillion connections. Now, that will gradually get pared down during the lifetime, especially during the teenage years. Now, there's an old adage which says neurons that fire together, wire together, right? But what happens somewhere around the age of 11, 12, 13, if those connections have not been used, then they start to get pared out.